Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. How's everyone doing today? Hey, what's going on, guys? I think I think I'm trying something new. I don't know. I don't know. We might be live on X. I think we're for sure live on Kick. We are not live on Twitch. I don't know. We're just trying to have fun, guys. Anyways, let's get into it. Let me make sure I'm on live chat. Guys, Bitcoin is currently trading at 84,930 and 1 penny. Gourmet Brands said move in silence. Dixie said like the smash. Dixie, I have a really funny joke that I want to run by you later. That's popped in my head while I was fixing the broken part of my van that I didn't need to fix. Okay, Bitcoin 84,945 and 81 cents. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map. We got weekend liquidity, so you guys know we're probably not going anywhere, but we'll see. We'll zoom in and we'll see. And the 12-hour, bam, look at that. We are trapped in a range. We've got 85,409. 85,409, 85,409. We've got, I'm going to go to the very top, 86,860. We've got, whoops, 84,274. And the very bottom of that range, I'm going to go right, let's go right there, 82,886. So that's where we're at right now. That is the range that, as always, the market maker has permitted us to utilize for the weekend. Philly said your address no longer shows Berkeley. Yeah, Philly. YouTube changed the usernames. They claimed it's for privacy or something like that. It's kind of goofy. Or for safety or something to prevent impersonators. Bitcoin is chilling in between our range, 84,999 and 25 cents. Are we going to liquidate bulls and bears, one or the other? It's at 85,001 right now. Now, the bull market support band situation, I believe it's the 50-week moving average, is definitely, we're probably definitely going to close below it tomorrow. So if you're a diehard 50-week moving average person, then you probably think we're going into a 12-month long bear market for Bitcoin. And so far, you know, the 12-month bear market folks are right, because we've been in a bear market for a month. We've been in a bear market for a full month this week. And by bear market, I mean number go down. In the simplest terms. So, personally, I think that I think we are entering a bear trend, perhaps a crypto winter. I don't think it's going to be 12 months, but if it is, then so be it. Tisha said, that makes sense. I believe the handles are unique, unlike the name. Exactly, yeah. Yep. Bitcoin dominance 59.12. We are still below 60, which is good. Hopefully we can get below 59 again. Drummer said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and send feet pics, everyone. Join the Discord for the feet pics. X is fine too, but it's nicer to have it all in one place. I'm just kidding. I don't like feet. Don't you dare send me feet pics. 59.11 on Bitcoin dominance. I'm still, for some reason, I think that this is fractal influenced. I have November 26th for when Bitcoin dominance finally breaks down and we get a proper alt season situation. So Tishu said 11 more months, number go up. That's allegedly. If we are entering a 12-month bear market, then 11 more months, number go up. Pickle 9 said, it don't matter. I've been throwing money at it. Exactly. That's the way to do it, man. That is the way to do it. Not financial advice, of course, but that is the way to do it. ETH is currently trading at 27.75, up 0.19, and this is after the daily close. We did miss the daily close. Crypto Spaces YouTube said, how we feeling, chat? Did you sell all your holdings? Let's actually do that. Let's do that. I'm going to do a poll. Did you de-risk? Sell some of your bags during this dump? Yes or no? Start poll. All right, direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Did you de-risk / sell some of your bags during this dump? It is entirely anonymous as well if you want to answer without people judging you, because sometimes people take profit. I read Robert Kiyosaki sold his Bitcoin and at 90K, and people are criticizing him for it, but I actually commend him for it. He bought at about $5,000 and he sold at about $9,000, which is huge. So he's made a crazy amount of profit. I do think it's crazy to sell your entire bag, but everyone's different. He said he's going to invest that into revenue earning businesses that he has, and those businesses, the revenue that he earns from that, he's going to use to accumulate more Bitcoin, which is genius. So you have money, you bought Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes up. Now suddenly this is worth this much. You sell it. You put it into these little companies that you have. These little companies generate this much money. You put that into Bitcoin every single month, and then all of a sudden you have this big of a bag, and the bull market starts again. It's genius. It really is. Tishu said, I have the phrase burned into my brain, guys, number go up. Thanks, JJ. I don't know what spawned that. Like, it's a joke and a meme, but it genuinely kind of burned into my head as well. So, and it is that simple. People make jokes about, like, I'm in it for the tech and all that junk, but number go up. We like number go up. It's that simple, man. It's that black and white. It doesn't have to be crazy. That is why meme coins prevail during all markets, really. Philly said, I lost a ton deleveraging, converting properly to spot. I thought that said poverty. Sorry, Philly. Picklewick9 said, I feel like old players are selling into new hands. That's probably what's happening. Rudy, I believe that is Index. Rudy93 said, yo, man, I love you. Rudy93, were you born in 93? I'm curious. Index here. I don't know why YouTube changed my name. Effing shite. Yes, I'm aware. I do recognize your profile picture. I don't know. YouTube did it for some stupid, crazy reason. Fahid said, when moon? No, wait. I need a quick dump for a scalp. And Tishu said, we do. It's all in hindsight. Exactly. All right. Let's see. So ETH looks like it might want to try to go up from here. Okay, good. I feel a little bout of heartburn coming on. I had to make sure that I had some Pepsid, because otherwise I would have to make an emergency Pepsid call to the fiance. Don't get old, guys. Don't get old. If you can help it. Okay. I have to also apply chapstick. I fixed my van, kind of. Not that you guys give a crap, but I have more parts coming on Monday to fix it even more, which is exciting. Solana's kind of flat during all this, which is interesting. Rudy said, or Index said, could you check your Discord, man? I send you something personal. Sorry to drag you into my stuff. Yeah, I can check it. Oh, dang. Guys, show Rudy some love. He's a great guy. If you guys are not aware, actually, Rudy is the individual responsible for... Oh, I don't even have it open. For the Daily Close Contest interface. Let me open it. Hang on. Bear with me. He is responsible for this guy. Nope, I broke it. Did I break it? I think I just broke the whole dang thing. Hang on. Is that it? No. I think I actually broke it. Okay, well, I can just show you it like this. He's responsible for building the Daily Close interface, and he did it entirely for free out of the goodness of his heart. So, show him some love, because he made the Daily Close contest a lot easier for me, and a lot more fun for the entire community. So, okay. Anyways, moving forward, because moving forward is very important, especially in crypto. Let's look at the poll really quick. We've got 6 votes. We got 14 people watching, guys. If you guys could go vote in the poll. Again, it's completely anonymous. Did you de-risk or sell some of your bags during this dump? Also, don't forget to smash the like button. It really helps out the channel. I got like too many chat windows open, and they're all broken. Okay, this one seems to be working. The multi-chat, I think, is junk. Let's see. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, were they feet picks? They were indeed feet picks. Philly said, fixed his van equals bought more Gorilla Tape. Rudy, what up, brother? He said, stop making me so important, man. It was a huge deal. I know it was a huge deal. Giovanni said, Rudy equals goat. I love that you using it. Of course, man. That's the only way to do the daily close contest. Giovanni spammed a banana. Drummer is given some trophies. Rudy coded that. Dude, he like spun it up and like, he's like, I'm gonna send you something. Like we were in the middle, I think, of doing the daily close contest, and he just he's like, check this out. And then I was like, oh, this is crazy. He's like, yeah. And then he like made it even better. He's like, here, I made it even better. And I'm like, what the hell? It was pretty sick. It was pretty cool. So very prominent member of the community. Show some love. Total 3. Total 3 is, what did I point out here? My slightly bullish guess that we're kind of near right now. What's interesting is we have this lower trend line that we've been watching, and we did kind of get back above it. And it does kind of look like we did a little fake out below, broke back above, tested as support, and now we're going to continue. Are we going to get a proper breakout to the upside? Is my next question. And with that question, I pose, when is that going to happen? Because we do see every time we've touched it, which it's only been a handful of times, we touch and then we get a little support bounce and then a bigger one. So touch, support bounce, bigger. Touch, we're probably going in for a support bounce and then bigger. So we'll see where we end up. History doesn't repeat itself. Volume looks really good. There's been some weird theories floating around. I know you guys know about the October 10th stuff, but the recent stuff that kind of blows my mind. Billy said, JJ, you should make Rudy an honorary Cornerville Chad. Actually, I need to see if I can do that. Can I gift memberships on my YouTube channel? I know I can gift them to random people, but I want to like pick specific people. As a creator, you can gift memberships on your YouTube channel during live streams and premieres by enabling a setting and purchasing gift memberships for viewers. Okay, I'll have to figure out how to do that. That's a good idea, Philly. I like that. He said, yeah, I just love coding. Was not really hard to do it, too, but guess it helps a lot. Oh, that was huge, dude. Huge difference. Tom Sulks Code said, Eric Trump talking about buying crypto. Time to sell. Sell it all. Dump incoming. Index said, I don't really need anything. I just love you using it. Well, that's too bad. It's unsolicited JJ's Crypto Corner membership is coming your way. ADA. ADA is chilling at 40. It did break below my 42-cent target, which is interesting. So let's see if this 40-cent target holds. It is a big psychological number. There's people calling for like 30s and 20s. The bear market bottom for this was 25 cents right back here. And, or no, not even back there. Went even further back. Interesting. Okay, so maybe this is a good culmination of what usually goes down. I mean, come on. You get your bear market. You break out of it. You get a little double top thing. You get a little retrace. Explosion. You get a little double top thing. You get a little retrace. I guess we're going to ignore that. Or maybe that's part of the double top here. Double top, retrace. Double top. Maybe retrace. Philly sent 5 gifted memberships and Index got one. Let's go. Philly's the man. That's awesome. Thank you, Philly. The Heat said, that looks like Farcoin, but it's not, LOL. Man, so many alts yeah. The entire cryptocurrency market is decimated. It's pretty crazy. Crypto Spaces said, what a tough bull cycle, huh, guys? I don't think it was a bull cycle. I think that we're still working our way into it, if I'm being completely honest. But there are some, behind the scenes things happening that we're completely unaware of. So what I've heard recently that kind of blew my mind, I'm going to leave that one open. That one's not stupid. Is Snake is up 1.3%. Is that Binance with the liquidation event, the cascading liquidation event that happened on October 10th, happened, according to Tom Lee, due to this bug with a stablecoin kind of depegging by like almost 50%, by like 40 some percent, which is a big, big deal. And that caused a bunch of people's collateral to devalue by that big percentage, and it liquidated whole positions, some of which were even in profit. So that's huge. And we did know that that was a possibility. And I think what kind of proves, allegedly, don't sue me, please, that this is a concern and a possibility is that Binance paid people. They paid people money, like admitting guilt kind of situation. Oh gosh, we got scammers in the chat. So Binance pays people off. It's kind of an admission of guilt. Like, oops, we effed up. Here's, I believe it was like 389 million, which is nothing compared to the 20 billion that was lost. And since that has happened, the market's been tanking. The market has been very, very poor, like very not well off at all. And there's two factors, or two possibilities, I guess I should say. The first one is just that Wall Street and all the big players, institutions saw that happen on October 10th, and they were like, this is way too much for now. It's a little too risk on. We're going to step back and, observe and see what happens from here. And the other one is, this one's the one that blew my mind, is that Binance is selling to fill the hole that was created from October 10th. They still have this missing money that they have to kind of pay back. Okay. I gotta go block this stupid specific word because these scammers are gonna be nonstop, relentless in the chat. Hide user on this channel. Okay, how do I do this again? I forgot. I have to go to community. I have to go to, nope. Customization. Nope. I thought it was community. How do I block things? I don't remember. Settings. There we go. It's under settings and then community moderation. Bam. Save. Let's go. Okay, the scams are gone now. Billy said, anytime, Rudy. Okay. Rudy said, I'm grinding money for 2026. I think we can enter bear market if Bitcoin breaks 75K, not gonna lie. Oh, we're definitely entering at least a bear trend. I think a bear market is 100% possible. Crypto Spaces said, what stablecoin? I'm not sure. I don't know if it was because of the stablecoin. I think it was because of the exchange that it was on and some lack of liquidity and a bug in their code or something like that. There's no post-mortem yet. I'm sure there's investigations happening. Giovanni said that's terrifying if true. Philly said Rudy got one membership. Nice. There you go, Rudy. Thank you, Philly. Appreciate you. Crypto Spaces said bonk. Guy got wrecked. Lost 30 million to leverage. Yeah, be careful with leverage, guys. For real. Rudy said, thanks for love, Philly. All your fault. Crypto Spaces said prices were better when CZ was locked up, to be honest. For real, dude. For real. Philly said, can you sell old seed phrases? What the F kind of scam shit is that? All right. Interestingly enough, Bitcoin's getting a little pumpy here since we started the stream. Again, guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Let's check on the poll. We got 7 votes. I'm going to take it. I'm going to end the poll with I forget what it's called. A pool of 7 individuals. Did you de-risk / sell some of your bags during this dump? 71% of you said no. 29% of you said yes. I feel like that's a fair split. People are taking profits, man. Number go down. They wanna scoop up their profits and maybe go on vacation. Who knows? What's really interesting is, according to the fractal, if we are gonna bounce here, this is the place where we should bounce, and that's strictly based on my super duper mega fractal 2.0, which I did scoot once already. I'm not going to scoot it again, but if we do get a bounce, that would be pretty sick if we went boop and then continued up higher. I'm just saying. Imagine we come up to 100K again, almost, we reject. Everyone's freaks out. They think we're going to zero. And then we get a double bottom bounce after everyone's opening up all their longs. And then we go even higher. That right there, in my opinion, would be borderline max pain. Probably at least maximum value extraction situation. Scenario, we'll call it. Philly said Binance made settlements. That's like totally an admission of guilt. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Let me see. Binance pays after October 10th. Let me pull it up. You guys don't remember this? Right here. 283 million. I'm sorry. It was not 300. It was 200 right here. This is published by Binance as well, so who knows how true this is. Binance paid 283 million in compensation to affected users after the market crash. That does not happen unless they effed something up. You know what I mean? Like, the exchange will never care. You get liquidated, they do not give a crap. But if something breaks and you get liquidated as a result, they're going to pay you back. Binance, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world by trading volume, announced a compensation payment of 283 million to users affected by the asset decoupling during the cryptocurrency market crash on October 10th, 2025. The funds have already been distributed among holders of Binance Earn products, including Athena USDE, BN Sol, and Wrapped Beacon ETH, I guess whatever the hell that is. The sharp market decline caused mass sell-offs and a temporary decrease in liquidity. As a result, the USDE rate, initially pegged to $1, fell to 66 cents. USDE was that Athena stablecoin. Mind you, that stablecoin up until that point was rapidly, right here, rapidly climbing the ranks. It is still pretty high, actually, all things considered. Somehow this thing is sitting at a $7 billion market cap, even after that happened. And I thought that was weird, that stablecoin came out of nowhere and suddenly was really popular and famous. So it's just interesting to me. Some tokens, including Atom and IOTX, showed anomalous price fluctuations, compensations, and restorations of operation. Binance stated that it compensated users for losses due to position liquidations and internal delays of earned products. Payouts occurred within 24 hours after the incident. We took responsibility and fully covered the losses of users whose positions were liquidated due to the decoupling of assets used as collateral. I don't know. It's a little sus to me. It's very sus, actually. And we just so happened to drop right after that happened because they're filling a hole that's a lot bigger than $283 million, in my opinion, if that conspiracy is true. Tom Selleck said it was a second Luna. Not necessarily, actually. Luna, luckily for us, was obvious and taken care of, immediately after that collapse. USDE is still around. It's number 17 right now. There's $7 billion in market cap sitting there. People are using it. And it's a thing, in my opinion, that doesn't work. And I'm sorry if that's toxic or, what have you. I don't like stablecoins that don't work. I'm a big Cardano guy. Cardano has awful stablecoins. Cardano has the worst stablecoins. And forgive me for saying that, but I don't really give a crap. Oh, they're working hard to I don't care. What do I care? Somebody's working hard. I work hard every day. I'm not going to put my money into a stablecoin that's broken. I'm just saying. Let's see. You guys said a lot of things. Tom Selleck said, I would love for us to not have to even be in the bowl yet. Just talk to enormous amount of crap to Jordan. Right. Philly said, Tom, I can't believe I'm even saying this. I want another chance to buy everything super low again. Giovanni said, same Philly. If we go into bear, better now than later, to be honest. Tom Selleck said, CZ is horrible for crypto. Philly said, yeah, but I don't want to wait 2 to 3 years. See, that's the thing, though. I literally made more money during the bear market than I did during this supposed bull market. And I think that that's because I bought at the lows and the recovery, like the altcoins recover 100% from the lows in like weeks. It's nothing. And then from there, the climb, slows down over time. I don't know. It was pretty sick. Let's see. Giovanni said if Bitcoin goes to 100K, 11 billion will be liquidated. Why am I thinking only 11 billion? More downside absolutely possible. Tom Sox Code said it was a second Luna. Billy said, JJ, I don't know. I didn't know you could block using a specific word. What word did you filter? The name of their little scam coin that they're trying to push. The Heat said CZ been pumping Asterd. Index said pump it. We gotta pump it up. Even though I would probably nuke 1 week bear div is strong. Bear's direction. I don't know. Bear market was the best, to be honest. Yeah, dude, I enjoyed the bear market. It's crazy that sentiment has gotten this bad and we're not in a bear market. You know what I mean? Or maybe we are. I don't know. It's weird to me that I felt like when prices were at their all-time like local bear market lows, not all time, but bear market lows. We hit bear market lows a year after the top and sentiment was fine. It felt totally fine. Bitcoin breaks 100K and starts like slowly crumbling and alts are down like 40-50% from their local highs and sentiment is the worst it's ever been. Tishu said BNB reclaim 1K ever. I'm sure it will, honestly. Tom Salkscoat said 7 billion idiots. Philly said JJ remind me what actually happened with Binance Scamwick liquidations. I don't apparently one of their stablecoins depegged and it wrecked a bunch of people. Rudy said, yeah, same here, bought 16K and hold at 80K. Philly said, Rudy, if I had money for previous bear, I would have made bank. Rudy said, I'm happy for first round. All right, we're caught up. Bitcoin breaking to the upside a little bit, which is kind of exciting. Let's see if we can liquidate some bears. I'm not going to go through every asset. XRP looking good. We're back in our little range, lower trend line. SWE struggling a little bit. Maybe you can get a little double bottom action though. Pinlake's been pumping from this low. People have been scooping her up. Just from down here, if you would have scooped this, you'd be up 50% right now. I'm just saying. I think Tyler talked about scooping some right here. He'd be up 24%. So let's hope he scooped. Francisco Santos Crown said we're going to pump over the weekend and dump on Monday. Francisco Santos. That's a sick name. Francisco Santos. That is such a badass name. Billy said, I spent a couple of hours the other day setting low buy orders. Honestly, that is the way to do it. That's something that Waterfly does all the time, actually. And he makes bank because of it. The people that have the patience and capital to set low buy orders like that and take advantage of scamwicks are, I don't know, they deserve to win the wins. Francisco Santos said, thanks, bro. Absolutely, man. What else? Rudy said, to be honest, no one knows where Bitcoin gonna go, but I bet my money for dump. I'm stupid, don't follow me. I'm all over the place, man. Honestly, I'm historically god awful at shorting, so I'm just not even gonna say words. Tisha said, will you believe me? My lowest Bitcoin buy was on FTX around 16K. So happy I was able to get it out. Small amount though. I believe it for sure. I was in Voyager and I got out like 2 or 3 months before the collapse, and I only got out because the CEO DM'd me on Twitter. Because I went full Karen. I was just posting on every single advertisement that they had on X. I was like, I can't get my cryptocurrency transaction has been pending for over 2 weeks. Where the hell's my money? On every single thing that they posted. And their posts got a lot of views, did not get a lot of comments. So I was front and center. Every time they had an advertisement, boom, I was there with a whole paragraph. So I'm assuming damage control. Steven Ehrlich literally DM'd me and he was like, what's your customer service code? I sent him that. And within an hour, suddenly, my 2-week delayed transaction got pushed through. So I think the collapse started a long time before it actually happened. Fartcoin, I don't know. Fartcoin's up 2.45%. I feel like an idiot saying it, but this seems like it's going to zero. But again, meme coins do recover pretty violently when they recover, so be careful, obviously. Be careful with everything. Avalanche looks good. We got our legacy trend line here. I gotta buy some Avalanche right now, actually. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy some Avalanche. I already bought some Arrow the other day, and it's gone down since, which I'm a little butthurt about. I bought it right around 76, maybe 74, 74, 75 if I'm lucky. I'm buying some Avalanche. Not financial advice. Don't do what I do. Avalanche. Oof. I mean, that's such a great price. That is such a good price, you know. How am I not gonna buy some? Okay. Avalanche purchased. Philly said, "Oh shoot, Tishu, you lost some Bitcoin in that." Tishu said, "I had some USD stuck there because I ACH'd the money like a few days before they went under, and there was a lock period. I got my distribution with interest, so made some money. Nice." Pickerick9 said, "Back all the EBT people were in lines." What? Tisha said, "No, Philly. I was able to get full amount out." Yeah, that's awesome. Billy said, "I keep going over this in my head again and again. I should have bought 50 Solana at 8 to 10. Yeah, dude, I feel the same way. That's what I mean as well about this whole situation. Everyone's, including myself, thinks that if alts don't actually perform, that they're all going to zero. But if you would have, or when we went through the whole thing with Solana and FTX collapsing, and Solana literally looked like a scam. Solana looked like a scam when FTX collapsed because it went pretty much to like zero. Where was it? I think right here. This thing was $250. It went all the way down to $8. $8. That, in my opinion, I would have called this, I did actually actively called it a scam. And look at this beautiful monumental recovery. So that goes back to that mentality thing. You know, when the charts look god awful, when they look like a scam, that's not always a bad thing. This is a beautiful buy opportunity. And I wasted it just calling it names. I could have put $10 in here and turned it into 50 or 100. Oh my god. What would that be? If I would have just bought one at $10, I would have made, $240. $100, you would have made $2,400. That's pretty sick. So we have to, and I say we as in me and whoever else, we have to kind of set aside that weird mindset of like chart look bad, me no buy. And when the chart looks bad, we have to buy. So that's what I've been trying to do. And I feel like I've had some degree of success so far. And by some degree of success, I mean I own the assets now. They have not gone up yet, but I'm excited for the opportunity. Francisco Santos said, "I could see Solana going to 90. I could see 90 for sure." What was I had a bottom prediction for Solana. That was one of the ones that I predicted. Hold on, I wrote down I made a list. Someone asked the other day, and I made a list of all of them right here. My Solana bottom, my Solana low, if it gets really dicey, my Solana low estimate is $50. And that's if it gets really, 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 really bad. But so far, I mean, this little bounce recovery looks pretty good, especially for a weekend. What sucks is if we pump right now, we're going to have a CME gap. Crypto Spaces said Solana really stole the show this bull run. They did, and they hit a new all-time high, and they deserved it, you know? They saw the writing on the wall. People like gambling. People like speculation. People like risk on, and they became the new, fast car in the room, and people liked it. Okay. I want to talk about silver really quick. It's down 1.29% right now, but the chart looks great. This right here. So we have this head and shoulder that played out. We have this inverse head and shoulder that played out. And then if we disconnect this, if we're not trying to look at this as a whole, because this right here, I'm going to just tell you is probably some kind of a wedge situation. if we're just looking at this, this looks amazing. Look at that. Tell me that's not a bull flag. And if it is, not financial advice. If we just measure, let's call it that. And I'll go from the bottom, just be a little frugal with it. We are looking at a new all-time high of 55. So, not financial advice. I don't know how much TA you can do on precious metals. But is there, I want to look at the values. Hold on. Down here. Why can't I see this? Am I crazy? Do I have to do something special to make it show me the numbers? Philly gifted 1 membership, and Tishu received it. Interesting. Congratulations, Tishu. Thank you again, Philly. So it does look like we might have. We do. So there, it's very, very faint, but technically speaking, I would call this bullish div. This level is lower than this level. And this level is higher than this level. So that is bullish divergence. And that does demand that price go up while the RSI goes down. And I guess how shallow that RSI is, that does kind of dictate that it could happen over a very long period of time, which is pretty exciting. Philly said, "You're welcome. Sorry I got paid today, LOL." I like it. I like it. Tishu did the Tony Soprano face. That's such a good face, dude. That's so good. I gotta find some of the classic thumbnails from all the old school crypto YouTubers, and I gotta try to make the same face just for the meme, man. I thoroughly enjoy the idea that like new people see it and they take it serious. They're like, "Oh, look at this jackass. He's making the stupid face." Like I did, the face is not a joke. It is I did actually make that face for the thumbnail, but not for the reason that people think. All right. So we went over silver, DXY. Interestingly enough, DXY has been doing quite well, which is funny because the market has not been doing that well. From like September 17th, 16, 17, we've been in an uptrend. And let's see if that correlates with anything. Just September 16, 17. September 16, 17, kind of right here. So yeah, I guess you could make that argument that the DXY might be relevant. We got total 3 going down while the DXY went up. So that's definitely a factor to take into consideration. Oh geez, Lunar Entity said Jamie Dimon frantically squatting on silver yet again. Squatting on silver. What do you mean, like shorting it? What does squatting on silver mean? Like he's pooping? Is he taking a poop on some silver? MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee, closed yesterday at 172.80. And it's not looking good. I'm not going to lie. It is not looking good. Billy said, JJ, do a calculation on Solana buy $100 at $8, taking full profits. So that'd be $800 to $200. So 200 divided by 8. Oops. 200 divided by 8. That is a 25x. So you'd have $2,500, Philly. Oh, 100 Solanas. Oh, shoot. So that's $800. 800 times 25 is 20,000. So, yeah. $20,000. That's crazy. NASDAQ, chilling. Hopefully we can get a recovery come Monday. S&P, same thing. S&P looks decent. I'm not going to lie. S&P looks pretty good. Bitcoin down. It's 59.13. Is it going to continue to break down like we said? We got some news articles to go through, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let me go check really quick. I just want to look. Can I see if I'm actually live on Kick? Log in. Okay. Oh, geez. I have a 6-digit code. All right, I'll just check later. Whatever. Philly said 800 to 20K. I could cry. I mean, hindsight is 2020, Philly. Hindsight is 2020. If that 800 got to like 5,000, would you have taken profit? So it's you got to kind of consider that as well. Like I always think about the Bitcoin situation. You could get Bitcoin for free when it first was around. There was a Bitcoin faucet website, and you could literally just get free Bitcoin from the Bitcoin faucet just by going there and clicking a few buttons. How many of those people have that Bitcoin today? You know what I mean? And if they would have had it and it went to like $50, they probably would have taken their $50 and pieced out. Now it's 100K. So hindsight is 2020. You can't dwell on it. I actually looked into Bitcoin in 2012, I think it was 2011, 2012, and it did nothing. I did nothing. I looked into it for like 2-3 hours. I was like, this is not worth my time. And it went about the rest of my life. And I could be a millionaire today if I had just bought some, you know what I mean? All right. News articles. We've got Eric Trump saying, this is a great time to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the greatest asset of our time. I don't know if he meant to like say time in Bitcoin twice, but that's kind of funny. Fun fact, 10 years ago today, Bitcoin was $320. Could you imagine? Marty Party, posting some bangers. My thesis remains intact. Bitcoin and gold will be used to devalue the debt by revaluation of hard assets. There is no other way to get out of debt and avoid depression on default. 2025 is accumulation phase. It's a rocky road, forcing strong long-term holders to exit, hold. 2026 crisis in bond market. U.S. announced Bitcoin and gold strategic reserves, and they hold 1 million Bitcoin and 8,133 tons of gold. They revalue Bitcoin at 1 million and gold at 20,000. By 2027, the dollar will be devalued massively. The debt burden will be eliminated. The hard part, don't get shaken out through the volatile accumulation phases. The U.S. did this in 1933 already with gold. They have signed the executive orders already for SBR. Policy is being set. Accumulation is in progress. This 35% shakeout was executed perfectly. Anyone that was going to sell, they sold. Don't F this up. That's a pretty good one. And then we get another one. People, why did Bitcoin come down systematically to exactly the Binance lowest over-leveraged long liquidation level? This is not random. Stop with the nonsense narratives. The price was brought down to clear the book, as it is every cycle. The cycles are shortening. The amount of nonsense narratives in my timeline is overwhelming. This is mathematical evidence. This is not a random sell-off, not a dump. It is a extraction of liquidity to liquidate every long position opened between 90 and 126K at any leverage down to 3x. Here's the post again, showing you exactly what happened and why to the dollar. The good news, now that they have cleared the book, they will sell longs again and hunt shorts. Interesting. Let's see. Tish, you said, JJ, do you handle EVM chain, Binance Smart Chain, Base, Polygon on your Ethereum wallet? What did I do for Base? Because I've interacted with Base before. Was it Phantom? Maybe? I don't remember. I have a Phantom wallet, and I had a specific wallet for my SWI, and I was also my ETH endeavors started through MetaMask, and they continue there actually. So yes, I think is my answer. Billy said, how many of the original faucet people still have some of Bitcoin? Very few, 10 to 25 people. Most from lost keys, throwing hard drives away because they bought a new computer, and people that just forgot about them altogether. That's crazy. I see, this is where I really, like, if I dwell on it too long, I've never thrown a hard drive away. I still have all my old computers and stuff, like, stacked up in the closet. So it blows my mind that people do that. Lunar Entity said, looks like the influencers are finally waking up to the 40% maturity wall in 2026. I see. What's the 40% maturity wall? CryptoSpaces YouTube said, would make going up easier if everyone had to buy spot to make money. Exactly. Tishu said, you have no EVM transactions on your Ethereum wallet in the description. I don't know what wallet I put in the description. ETH wallet in the description. ETH wallet in the description. I don't think I have an ETH wallet in the description. Oh, I do, right there. I'm not sure what one that is. I'd actually have to look. Maybe I made a new one for the channel. Yeah, I have. So on my MetaMask right now, just my MetaMask alone, there's like 6 different wallets, maybe more. Oh, geez, that's me for a password. I don't know what the hell my password is. Okay, yeah, I do not know what the hell my password is. That is that remains true. Okay, let's see. Kobe, see you later. U.S. small cap stocks are struggling. The relative small cap to large cap 10-year annualized return fell to 4%, minus 4%, I'm sorry, in October, the lowest since the late 1990s. Since the 1930s, there have been only a few periods when small caps underperformed so severely, including the 1950s, the early 1990s, and the late 1990s. This comes as the Russell 2000 index has risen 102% over the last 10 years, while the S&P 500 is up 220%. Year-to-date, U.S. small-cap stocks have risen just 6% and now reflect one of the worst-performing global regions, behind India's minus 5% decline. During the same period, South Korea, Spain, and Brazil recorded plus 58%, plus 48%, and plus 46% returns, respectively. Small caps have been left behind. Dang. This one's kind of crazy. U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene announces that she is resigning from office, and her last day will be January 5th. I'm curious about this because I thought for sure they were going to put her in the seat for the next presidential election, and I'm wondering if that's what she's going to do. She put out some gigantic paragraph or essay, who knows, novel, talking about why or whatever. It was just, it just seems odd to me. It kind of came out of nowhere. Americans are worried about their jobs. Consumers aged 18 to 34 now perceive a 33% chance of losing their job over the next 5 years, the second highest on record. The 3-month moving average of this metric has risen 10 points over the last 3.5 years and now exceeds the 2008 peak. Let me repeat that. The 3-month moving average of this metric has risen 10 points over the last 3.5 years and now exceeds the 2008 peak. 2008 financial crisis, by the way. For Americans aged 35 to 54, the 3-month average has reached 30%, the highest on record. Even consumers aged 55 plus have become the most pessimistic on record, with their perceived probability of job loss at 15%, all while 68% of Americans now expect higher unemployment over the next 12 months, near the highest percentage since 2008. Job security is weak at best. I'm telling you guys, they need to, unfortunately, I'm not in support of this. I'm not against it either. I think it's just a necessary thing that has to be done. I think that the government is going to have to put some kind of almost like a limit in place for how many employees can be fired by a company and replaced with artificial intelligence. Because that's what it feels like is happening. Or robotics or whatever. Tisha said, Lunar Entity said half of outstanding treasuries mature in 2026. I still don't know what that means. Billy said, I've always removed hard drives. I have about 3 full-size old IDE drives and about 5 SATA. I kept them. Good for backing up your entire system. It's just good to have, dude. Why would you throw out a hard drive? Even if you can throw out the rest of the computer, keep the hard drive. It just blows my mind. I have so many computers that I built or like Frankenstein together. My first computer I named Frankenstein was a Frankenstein because everyone in my family would be like, I'm throwing out my old computer. Do you want it? I'd be like, yeah, heck yeah. And I built a whole new system out of it every single time, and it was sick. I just had all these computers laying around, like whole ass working computers. It was fun. Tom Selleck Scott said she mentioned she might run for president, apparently to friends rumor out there. Also, she is retiring 2 days after her 5-year anniversary, which makes her eligible for her pension. Interesting. Okay. Smart. Yeah, I think she's going to run for president. And that was one of my theories, is that she has to step down because otherwise it looks like she's competing against a, I don't know, Trump third term that Trump has been kind of spitballing around for forever. I don't know. I'm just a guy with a beard. Okay. U.S. credit card capacity is expanding at a record pace. Total credit card limits reach a record 5.3 trillion in Q3 2025, according to the New York Fed data. At the same time, outstanding credit card balances rose plus 67 billion year over year to 1.2 trillion, an all-time high. This leaves a record 4.1 trillion in available unused credit. Interesting. Credit limits has surged 1.5 trillion since 2020, far outpacing the 430 billion increase in credit card debt over the same period. This comes as banks are aggressively raising credit limits and offering cashback and rewards programs to encourage more card usage. The credit card debt crisis is expanding. What do you guys have as far as credit card debt is concerned? Are you guys in debt up to your eyeballs? Crypto Spaces YouTube said Trump was definitely good for stocks. That is true. That is true, actually. The stock market is doing amazing. So, can't really argue with that. He was good for Bitcoin, too. Stock bros are eating. I see my timeline, people leaving crypto for stocks. I mean, that, honestly, why not? Like, legit. Maybe that was their plan all along. Maybe their plan was to embrace crypto. They're like, we love crypto. Come be our, I don't know, bank the unbanked, whatever. And they manipulated the shit out of it. It dumped to zero, and now the stock market's doing great. All of us crypto bros are like, dang, that looks pretty nice over there. I'm gonna go check that out. And then we're gonna go over there. We're gonna buy their bags. They're gonna dump on us. They're gonna load up on crypto, and that's gonna be the next rotation. It's not gonna be Bitcoin to ETH to alts. It's gonna be stocks to crypto, crypto to stocks. That's kind of cool. Tom Salksfeld said, were all of your old computers giant piles of crap like your current one? Yes. Yes, by definition, yes. Philly said, I remember the 2007 crash so well because I was a cable subcontractor. I had to pay for my own gasoline in my truck. The highest I remember gas was $4.25 a gallon. Every other day I had to refill my gas tank. Those were rough times. I don't remember gas being that high. I remember it being just over 4 for a short period of time. Not back then, though. This was more recent. But it blows my mind that it's been as high as it is right now for so long, too. Like, when it gets below $3, that's like such a privilege. All right. We are witnessing unprecedented market contractions. Magnificent 7 stocks now reflect a record 38% of the S&P 500's market cap. This means that 38 cents of every $1 invested goes into these 7 names. The percentage has doubled since the 2020 pandemic. Crazy. Nvidia, Microsoft, and Apple make up 22%. Meanwhile, the combined market value of the top 10 has climbed to a record 42%. Never in the history of financial markets has concentration been this high. Big tech is all that matters. And I feel like that's why I just watched a video the other day, and it was like, the guy was like, how come it feels like we haven't, like, it feels like we've been in the same era for 25 years. The 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all were unique. They all had their own unique styles, unique lifestyle, unique everything. Everything was unique about those eras. Ever since the year 2000, everything has seemed the same. And I've come to the conclusion that we made everything beige for profitability. And all the fun stuff happens on the internet. Because it doesn't cost any money to really change the design of something on the internet. I don't know. It's weird. It's such a weird thing to observe, but life really did get boring after technology kind of took over. U.S. trade deficit is improving. The U.S.'s goods trade deficit narrowed plus 18.6 billion, or 24% in August, to 59.6 billion, one of the largest monthly improvements this year. Imports declined 5% to 340.4 billion, the second lowest since May 2024. This also marks the biggest drop in imports in 4 months. At the same time, exports rose slightly to 280.8 billion, the highest since April. Since March 2025, the goods trade deficit has improved by 76.8 billion, or 56%. Adjusted for inflation, the merchandise trade deficit narrowed to 83.7 billion in August, the lowest since the end of 2023. Tariffs are reshaping the U.S. trade. Interesting. Crypto Spaces said, wow, you were paying attention to the financial markets back then, Philly. I wish I was. Philly said $4.25 was the max. Then the price fell consistently every 3 days. It bottomed at about 95 cents a gallon. Dude, I can't imagine. Crypto Spaces said back then, money in the economy felt much better. It really did. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, I cut up all my credit cards about 3 years and only have one for emergencies. Huge weight off my shoulders. Basically, if I don't have the money, then I don't need it. That's fair, dude. That's the way to do it. Billy said I went from $80 per fill up to $15 per fill up. Dude, I get so pissed when I put 20 in and then I gotta put 20 in again two days later. I do enjoy filling up my tank every once in a while, but it's just, I don't know. It seems like the price, I try to be cheap with it. That way, if the price does go down, I can load up more tomorrow. Because if I fill my tank today and it goes down tomorrow, then I can't get any more gas, and I'm pissed. All right. Kobe yesterday posted U.S. wage growth is falling. Wages tracked by Indeed just increased just 2.5% year over year in October, the lowest growth rate since July 2020. Excluding the 2020 pandemic, this is the weakest wage growth in at least 7 years. For comparison, wages rose 9.5% year over year in January 2022 peak. As a result, salaries are increasing more slowly than inflation, which is currently at 3.1% for the first time since early 2024. Put simply, the average American household is now losing purchasing power as prices rise faster than salaries. The U.S. consumer is losing real spending power. Billy gifted another membership, and Drew received it. Thank you, Billy. Lunar Entity said tariffs historically cause a lagging deflationary period, which would line up with the dollar gaining quarterly strength. Interesting. Okay. Said, damn it, that was for Crypto Spaces. It's too bad, man. Drew got it. That's why I wish YouTube let you choose, man. The housing market is frozen. 53% of all U.S. homes have lost value over the last year, the largest percentage since 2012, according to Zillow. This is despite national home prices remaining unchanged on average year over year. In Denver, 91% of home values have fallen from their peaks, followed by 89% in Austin and 88% in Sacramento. Dallas and Phoenix follow at 87%, while San Antonio stands at 86%. Nationally, the average decline in home values from peak levels is 9.7% still, far from the 27% decline seen in 2012. The housing market is stagnant. Hopefully, it just takes a huge dump and I can get a house. Crypto Spaces said stablecoin dominance has been climbing. Lunar, it's random Philly. Thanks for thinking of me. So I think stablecoin dominance is going to continue to climb because the stablecoin adoption is happening a lot faster than cryptocurrency adoption. So stablecoin dominance, I think, is going to eventually be a metric that we can't even observe because stablecoins are going to start getting used for everything, including crypto, but mostly everything else. Does that make sense? Lunar Entity said housing ticker on TradingView is HDX if you're curious. Ooh, I am curious, actually. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, that's freaking awesome. I'm assuming this is housing prices. Can we go here? I'm going to go to March 2020, please. Jesus. Yeah, that's a banana curve. See, I'm scared that this is just a short-term correction too. Yeah, look at that. I'm worried that it's just going to keep doing that. I would love to see it go and then maybe even do another slow gradual climb. I wish the housing market was like a meme coin. I wish prices would just explode to the downside for no reason. Because, people selling their houses just one clip the entire community. Bitcoin is up 1.25% since the daily close, guys. That's exciting. Philly said, Tom, in 2007-ish, as a contractor, I was paying $600 a month just in gas. Tishu said, Crow's pumping. Let's go take a look. Oh, whoa, it is pumping, isn't it? What if altcoins hit a new all-time high? What if alt season started right now? And what would be great is all the people that sold and left that were like, crypto's a scam. Those people would all pile back in. They would all FOMO back in and pump our bags even more. Wouldn't that be sick? Crypto Spaces said, yeah, makes sense. Regular day-to-day transactions will be stablecoins. Tom Salkscote said, oh, well, 2007 is another story. And yeah, contractor is big spending on gas. Lunar Entity said housing rises with M2 since mortgages are leveraged exposure to the dollar. That's fair. Crypto Spaces said it'll probably get integrated with Venmo, Cash App, etc. Exactly. I think Visa's gonna integrate it too. It's just gonna be a thing that everybody has, and they don't even realize they're using it. Super simple for non-crypto people. Exactly. The invisible blockchain is the future. Nobody cares. Like when I use my credit card, I'm not sitting there wondering like, ooh, is this using Swift? What clearinghouse? You know, like I don't give a shit. I just want to swipe the card and buy what I want to buy. If you try to shove crypto down my throat, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. Can I just pay for my stupid coffee? Like I don't care how it happens. I just want to spend it. Um, Tom Salkscote said stablecoin dominance better not rise. Wyckoff like a mother effer. If that's the case, then we effed. I don't think so. I think with stablecoins becoming adopted faster than crypto, I think stablecoin dominance is gonna rise so much that we're just gonna stop measuring it in regards to crypto. Tishu said number go up. Number go up indeed. Crypto Spaces said Tom Lee did say ETH bottoms this week. Lunar Entity said I'm curious to see where Ethereum will be in 10 years. No, you're not. All right. I'm joking, by the way. China continues to quietly acquire gold. China purchased 15 tons of gold in September, or 10 times more than officially reported by the central bank, according to Goldman Sachs estimates. Similarly, in April, estimated purchases reached 27 tons of gold, or 13 times more than officially reported. Meanwhile, official numbers show China acquired another 0.9 tons in October, bringing official gold holdings to a record 2,304.5 tons. Year to date, China's reported gold purchases have reached 24 tons. Assuming official purchases continue to be just 10% of what China is actually purchasing, this suggests China has acquired 240 tons of physical gold in 2025. China's true gold reserves are far larger than disclosed. Interesting. I mean, that's the way to do it. That's what kind of cracks me up about the money supply and inflation and all this stuff. Can't we just lie? Like, why can't we just lie about how much money is circulating and just lie about inflation and like all this stuff? Just lie about it. And then everyone will go about their day and inflation won't exist. Because the value of money is made up to begin with. So just make everything else up. Make it up, but tell a good story. Nobody wants to hear the story about inflation and low affordability and poverty. Everyone wants to hear the story of the dollar being worth what it was worth in like 1805, and I want to pay, $4,000 to have a beautiful American Forest Square built on this property that I just paid fucking $3 for. Let's tell that story. Just lie, man. That's what they need to do. China knows what's up. Meanwhile, their entire their entire real estate sector is collapsing. Lunar Entity said I'm not a cycle guy. Interesting thesis though. Billy said Lunar, that's 2 cycles away. I would think 25k. Cointelegraph posted Sailor said they'll say we got lucky. Bear market FUD. He just got lucky. Yeah, crazy stuff. Update, Tether has quietly doubled down on gold. Its Q3 2025 report shows USDT's gold reserves jumped from 5.3 billion to 12.9 billion, a 7.6 billion increase in just 9 months. That's freaking crazy. Update, after years of telling followers to hodl, Robert Kiyosaki sold Bitcoin, bought near 6K at about 90K. He sparked criticism after he reiterates he's very bullish and plans to accumulate more. Yeah, I really like his plan. If you guys are not familiar, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Man, Crow was really going crazy, isn't it? I really like how these lines lined up as well. It broke below 10, bounced at 9.2, broke above 10, and is now trying to break above 11. And after that, it's got kind of a straight shot to 12,725. Anyways, Robert Kiyosaki, he sold his Bitcoin that he bought at 6K. He sold it at 90K, and he said he's going to invest it in a couple of cash like cash churning businesses to increase their profits, and he's going to use those profits from those businesses to reinvest into Bitcoin, which is smart. That is so smart. Crypto Spaces said, well, that would make the wealthy less wealthy. We can't have that, JJ. Right? That's fair. That's totally fair. Only thing you can do is become wealthy as well. Exactly. And I think that that's another big thing. They kind of, they being the, the ever elusive, the powers that be, they want you to think that it's impossible. They want you to think, oh, I'm always going to be a working Joe. I need to do a 9 to 5. I need to struggle paycheck to paycheck, and then eventually I'll retire. I'll collect my Social Security, and I'll die. Maybe, maybe I'll get sick, and I'll need to use my state insurance to get better and all that stuff. They want you to think that that's the way that it has to go. And that's not true. That is not the way that it has to go. You can get up, you can hustle, you can be an entrepreneur, you can make money, you can grow out of this. You don't have to know somebody that has money. You don't have to be born into it. You can be the one in your family that starts the wealth building cycle, and then maybe your kids don't have to work, or maybe you hand them down a very lucrative, money earning business, or a bunch of businesses. It's not that hard. It's a mindset, though. You definitely have to change your mindset. Billy said, oh, JJ, okay, need your prediction. ETH price after 2 full cycles is 25K reasonable? I don't know. 2 cycles is hard. I can't look that far out, I don't think. I'd have to, let me ask me after the news cycle, Philly. Because there's a lot to go through. This is the worst month since June 2022. That's pretty crazy. Huge on-chain volume is dropping for all stable coins. Are you ready? I don't know how that's huge, but that's possibly huge. Lunar Entity said Tom Lee actually agrees with you, Philly. John Tujo said that's the new American dream. Insight, sovereign adoption is the candle that sends Bitcoin straight to 150K. I don't know what that's insight to, but very cool. Rate cut odds doubling has Bitcoiners calling a bottom. Yeah, this is, honestly, I was expecting this. I think it's funny how much this has fluctuated. I'm pretty sure we're getting a rate cut in December. If we don't, then who knows? Latest ARK went shopping on Friday, loading up on crypto stocks and nearly 600K in Bitcoin ETFs. Pretty cool. Lunar Entity said, why would it? Philly said it should go much higher. Oh, I have no idea. Wrecked 324 million in leveraged positions vanished in the past 24 hours. Philly, I'm going to say in 2 cycles, I'm going to say 16K. I think 16K makes more sense. Tom Selkscoat said, hello, son. Would you like to take over my money earning business? Yes, I absolutely would. Money earning business. You can put that in my biography, the quote at the end. Cointelegraph posted 320. Did I read this one already? 324 million in leveraged positions vanished in the past 24 hours. 3.6 billion in shorts would be wiped out if Bitcoin climbs 10%. Look at that. Everyone is shorting. Insight, Bitcoin relative unrealized loss is trading at 8.5% per Glassnode. Until they sell, it's only a loss on paper. So if you guys are looking to wash trade for the year, I think now would be a good time to do it. Not financial advice. I'm just saying. Huge. Tether became one of the largest gold holders in the world, according to Bloomberg. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Alert, this is one of the deepest dips we've seen in a while, with Bitcoin now 33% away from all-time high. That is pretty crazy. Pretty deep, if you will. When a solo miner solved a block and scored $299,000. I think, guys, I'm going to get a lottery miner just for fun, because I think that they're cool. And could you imagine getting a lottery miner and then like 6-8 years down the road, you win a block and you just get like $1 million? How sick would that be? Billy said if we actually do get a December rate cut, it's going to be a major catalyst for a 2026 bull market restart. I hope so. $1.6 trillion Deutsche Bank AG now holds $115 million in MicroStrategy per Bitcoin treasuries. Insight, this month's crypto crash hit harder and faster than anyone expected per Bloomberg. let's say it bottomed today. This is Income Sharks. You could not only get this entry again in the future, you probably have 2 months of chop to follow. FOMO is the reason you didn't take profits higher up, and it's the reason you are rushing to stand in front of a moving train. Yeah? Yep. Yeah, we usually bottom and then we do a fake out just to trap shorts. This one's pretty great. People who bought Bitcoin at 15K in 2022. That was a good one. Bitcoin flashed the most oversold signals since $25,000. This one's pretty sick. Yeah, that's actually crazy. Crazy metric. All right, next we've got Bitcoin changes you. 16K Bitcoin, 45K, 126K, 84K. That was a good one. Finance guy posted, everyone is saying that Bitcoin is crashing. That means it's time to buy. It's over. Every single time. Works like clockwork. Bull theory, altcoins are doing something they never do during a Bitcoin crash, and it's not normal. Bitcoin has dumped almost straight down for weeks, yet alt BTC quietly refused to break, and the chart proves it. While Bitcoin is down 24.15% in November, the alt BTC ratio is actually up 9.44% this month. That's the first major divergence we've seen in months, and it usually only happens after one thing: altcoin seller exhaustion. When alts capitulate before Bitcoin finishes its correction, they often become the first part of the market to stabilize. This chart shows exactly that: heavy selling in October, a complete washout, and then a slow but consistent grind upward even while Bitcoin keeps bleeding. This is also happening at the same time Bitcoin's technical structure is showing signs of a local bottom. Daily RSI equals lowest in 2 years, weekly RSI back to January 2023 levels, daily MACD lowest level ever. These are the readings which usually occur at a bottom, and if Bitcoin really is close to a local bottom, which the indicators are suggesting, then two things tend to follow. 1, Bitcoin enters a sideways phase or slow reversal. 2, alts outperform in both Bitcoin pair and USD pair. That's the part most people miss. Alt BTC strength during a Bitcoin dump is not random. It's a classic signal that liquidity inside crypto is starting to rotate towards higher beta assets. And historically, once Bitcoin stops falling, even if it just goes sideways, the altcoin market reacts violently because positioning resets. Leverage gets cleaned out and seller pressure disappears. This is why the chart is important. Bitcoin is approaching major support with deeply oversold indicators. Alt Bitcoin is quietly breaking up from its base. Dominance looks heavy and is struggling to trend higher despite Bitcoin dumping. These pieces only line up in one type of market environment: the phase right before altcoins begin outperforming. We are not saying that a full alt season starts tomorrow, but the behavior of the charts are suggesting it. This post made me super duper bullish. I'm just saying. Billy said if we actually do get a December rate cut, yep. Lunar Entity said it's a start for sure, as long as credit spreads and default swaps stay subdued. Biggest issue going into 2026 is the Treasury maturity wall that needs to be rolled. Drummer said it's not crashing, it's on sale. Lunar Entity said, well, it was crashing. Top South Goat said alt Bitcoin ratio hasn't dropped because alt's already at 0. Exactly. And why wouldn't you buy alts at 0? You know, that's just too easy of a gamble. That's what I'm saying, man. Downside risk stops at 0. Upside risk is infinite. So the risk reward demands that I buy more. Crypto Rover, very rare, good post from Crypto Rover. What if this is actually one of the best moments to buy altcoins? And then he posted this, which I absolutely freaking love. I love this post because as far as I can see, especially sentiment wise on X, we are 1000% in depression. 1000%. So I don't know. I'm just saying. It's a good post. I like it. JShoe 2.0 said, sup family. What's going on, JShoe 2.0? Cheers. Happy Saturday. I'm losing my voice again. Last but not least, we've got stay until 2026. Hashtag altcoins. Beautiful picture from 1875, 2026 is years of good times, high prices, and the time to sell stocks and values of all kinds. Kind of scared to see what happens after that, but we'll get there when we get there. Bitcoin looks delicious at this very moment, $85,963.99. Portfolio update, 1K to 10K Grok portfolio slowly recovering, currently down $488, 48.8%. Everything is red, starting from the bottom. Fetch is down 63. Aptos is down 62. Proppy is down 60. Ondo is down 54. Render's down 53. Shib is down 50. 8 is down 48. Doge is down 42. Near is down 38. And Sol is down 23. Then the meme coin portfolio, currently down 590, 59%. Recovering nicely though, very swift recovery. Everything is negative starting from the bottom. GigaChat is down 162. Snake is down 146. 136 is what I meant to say. Pepe is down 113. WIF is down 100. And Doge is down 80. Then we've got the narrative portfolio, my favorite and the most stable. Currently only down 190, which is that right? Yeah, 190, which is 38% negative, which is pretty good. Everything here is red. Finally, Tau was the only green for the longest time. It finally went negative. Starting from the bottom, VeChain is down 53. Fetch is down 52. Pepe is down 41. Mana is down 41. And Tau is down 5. Lunar Entity said, biggest concern would be the derivatives market imploding. Been watching default spreads on bonds since 2009. Every crisis was preceded by a quiet uptrend on that chart. Interesting. The derivatives market. Very interesting. All right. Last but not least, the perfect entry portfolio currently down 424, which is 42.4%. Just barely underperforming the narrative portfolio. Everything in this portfolio is also negative. Starting from the bottom, Avalanche is down 62, Render is down 57, Sweet's down 56, Pith is down 52, Ondo's down 48, Graph is down 46, Crow is down 32, Sol is down 29, ETH is down 28, and Link is down 19. Pretty dang good. Everything seems like it's recovering nicely. Sentiment definitely feels like it's bottomed, hopefully. Let's go check Fear and Greed. 13, okay. So this has been one of the times where we've been consistently way down low. On the 1 year, yeah, see, look how coiled up that is. And then max, whenever we get coils like this, can I make this? Hold on, let me see how wide I can make this. No, I think I tried that the other day and it stays the same. Dang it. That's so stupid. Okay, so I don't know. Well, we've never really, like, we've consolidated March of 2020 and May of 2022. So let's go look at March of 2020, May of 2022. March of 2020. We can't even go back that far on this. I'm guessing it's this. Yep. Okay, so this right here, March of 2020 and May of 2022. Right here. Wow. Okay, so there's two scenarios that we can look at. We are either bottoming like this, or it's a pit stop on the way down further like this. According to Fear and Greed specifically. Interesting. Very interesting. Both of those patterns look very similar. What came after is what I guess we're concerned with. We are either going to slow bleed back up, and I guess we can do something completely different from both of these, but these are just ideas of what's happened in the past. We could either slow bleed back up and then eventually start a proper bull market, or, whoops, sorry, probably made you guys deaf, or we still have to chop sideways, dump more, chop sideways for months, and then continue a new bull market. So I guess it depends on your bias. Do you think we've been in a bull market this whole time? Or do you think one is getting started soon? Look at this fractal. This fractal was the closest. Jeez. Can we do one of these? Let's do one of those. Let's do that. I'm going to get rid of this because it's depressing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this chart, honestly. Bitcoin up 1.35% on the day. Very cool. 4 hour. Nice. All right. Jishu said, yo, Crypto Spaces said, you have to remember Trump would print his way out of a recession, Lunar. That is true. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, guys, got to run. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers, Gourmet Brands Brooklyn. Appreciate you. Happy Saturday, my friend. Crypto Spaces said, most think pit stop. Most think we bounce and then go bear. Yeah. Yep. And the majority is usually wrong. And right now, we just flipped to where the majority is short. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them get wrecked. Lunar Entity said, Bitcoin underperforming the S&P suggests a rotation. Yeah, dude, I've been definitely feeling that for sure. When the stock market starts to look more attractive than Bitcoin, something's wrong. All right. Anyways, guys, I think we're just over an hour. Probably going to call it an evening. Not too much going on. Hopefully, I got to get back on for an emergency stream. Hopefully, the market just God candles to the upside. So, as always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Saturday, and good night.